Hello, football family. Welcome into Huddle It Up Films. Ravens on break. Huddle It Up Films. Not on break, but we're still doing our Wednesday night show. On break for some videos. There's no film to study, really. All the studying's done. Today, the Ravens announced training camp dates, training camp practice time, a little revamp. We got that. But tonight is really a Kyle Hamilton centric type episode. We'll have some winners, some articles clipped from Sports Illustrated. Alec Polianis is joining me. But Alec, we have a very special guest from our sister station, the Purple Rain Podcast. No, not the other one, that one. It is the highlight master himself, simply AS10. In the house with us, Alex.
Good
What is
evening.
going on, man? What's up, man? How you feeling? How's the World Cup treating you? Because I know you're a fan of the old football.
I haven't missed a game. Betting wise, if we're into that, gamble responsibly. I'm doing very well. But yeah, it's very fun to watch USA plays on Friday. I'm feeling very patriotic, about as patriotic as I've ever felt, honestly. Red, white, and blue. But yeah, I'm so ready for football as well. The Ravens, I mean, I'm feeling good about them. Like you're talking about before, it's like Orioles kind of aren't holding this dry period for us because we're pretty bad right now. So World Cup is kind of filling that void for me, but the Ravens, we're getting there. We'll be there in no time.
Love it. So, Alec, do you follow the old football de Americana?
Of
Or
course.
you watch any soccer? What's What are your thoughts, man? Give me some expert opinions because I'm lost when I kind of get bored with it.
Oh, um, well, first of all, I couldn't hear you at all. It was like I heard you beforehand. I heard the music, and then like the second it started, I couldn't hear anything. So that's why I rejoined. But I mean, from a football perspective, or soccer perspective, yeah, I enjoy it. I really got into it in college, because my team is or my school's undefeated when it comes to football, uh, and therefore I had to enjoy soccer instead.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Good.
I don't
So
have any
you
expert opinions about like the international, teams. I don't really know. I know like who's good and who's bad, but like I don't know who's better per se, of the good teams. So I'm just keen to watch, and it's always exciting.
So
Mm.
Alex, like USA usually obviously isn't great at soccer. What's the
Correct.
expectations this year? Give
For
me the
me,
rundown.
so in our history, we have won one knockout game ever. One. My goal is to at least win one. Maybe get to the round of 16, be that shock team. The ceiling is being the Morocco of 2022, which is making the semifinals, a team that nobody expects. And after the first game, we probably had the second or third best performance of any team out there. But you got to kind of just pump the gas a little bit. Paraguay, take it for what it's worth, but they did have the best defense in South America. They gave Brazil and Argentina a very hard time. Take it for what it's worth. Australia on Friday will be a really good litmus test. They beat Turkey 2-0, and if we win on Friday, we can just sit our starters for the third game, which is big. But we have a squad. We have a squad about, I think, 10 out of the 11 outfield players play in the top 5 European soccer leagues. This is something I've been
Okay.
asking for my whole life. Been the MLS players. I don't take that league serious. It's a retirement league for the has-beens, and make a lot of money coming here playing about once every 2 weeks. We would all do it. I don't blame them. I'd make 200K a week to play, one game and live in probably the nicest cities in the US. But USA, man, we look good 4-1, and more of the same on Friday. But yeah, World Cup's been a blast, and it's only going to get better.
Do we have a good goalie?
Up for debate. I'm sorry. So 9 of the 11 outfield play. Well, no, goalie is in MLS. He's young. He is good in penalties, which is why I think he got the nod. But our backup goalkeeper has played in the top leagues, but they like the younger guy better, taller, better reactions, can come out, collect crosses. So until we gives you reason to bench him, throw him out there. But he was calm the first game.
All right, nice. Because I don't know with soccer, I like the hot goalie, just like in hockey and stuff. I feel like it can carry you, but of course, novice over here. Know really nothing about the game.
You're good.
Did cover DC United one time for the Bowie Blade News. Got to meet
Really?
Alexi Lawless. Yeah, and was the
People
coach.
don't like him. People don't like Alexi.
He was popular back then, and the coach was he ended up coaching one of our national teams, our Olympic teams. I forget his name, but he was kind of a big deal too. He was
Hmm.
DC United's coach in the late 90s, and then went on to coach Team USA. So yeah, man, I got a little experience in there. The fellas gave me a hard time, but it was all in good fun. King Blaze first in, my guy. Smoke him if you got him, King Blaze. Ashley Royalty, Miss Royalty. Hey, Jason. Hey, everyone. The work wifey is here as well. Alec in the comments, working overtime tonight. Nice to see you in there too, Alec. Multitasking. J Dub, hello. What's going on, J Dub? What's going on? It's good seeing you, man. O'Derry, made alive. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Football is family, made alive. Glad that you're in here, O'Derry. It's good seeing you. Miss Sophia is in here with a hey, y'all. And where was Chris's mustache? There it is. Still hate the mustache, Alex. So, Alex, what's the lore behind the mustache? Is it staying?
It's not. I had a beard and I watched my soccer team lose the most heartbreaking way possible. And I'm like, all right, well, the beard's bad luck. So until the USA loses in soccer, the stash is here. If they lose, drop points, it'll be off. I'm superstitious like that.
All right, so Chris will be rooting for Team Australia then to get that mustache the hell out of here.
Yep.
Gotcha. Mike, what's up, Michael? What's up, Flock? Good seeing you, Mike. Let's see. Yeah, he does kind of look like a detective.
I've gotten it all.
You've gotten it all. What's the worst? What's the best one or worst one you can think?
Worst one's the cop. Always the worst one.
Yeah,
I get like the buzz cut, and
insurrectionist maybe.
Yeah,
dare I say? All right. So we have a very Kyle Hamilton centric episode today, but we want to start with some winners from the off-season program, minicamp, and the OTAs. A guy that I've worked with, Josh Reed, works for Sports Illustrated, worked with Josh over on Kevin McCusick's channel, Film Study, and he did a nice article. You can Google the whole thing. He has winners and losers. Wasn't much in the losers section, aside from Adisa Isaac not being able to get on the field, Corey Bullock not being able to get on the field. But I thought that his comments about some of the winners were interesting. So let's bring them up and talk about these players real quick. The first winner that he mentioned was the revamped pass rush as a whole. Even though the team wasn't permitted to engage in full contact or put on pads, that didn't stop their new edge rushers such as Trey Hendrickson and Zion Young from making strong first impressions, or returners like Mike Green from standing out consistently. So simply, we didn't get a lot of this guy's doing great, this guy's not doing great, Lamar connected on this pass, this guy would have had a sack. Didn't get a lot of those type of updates from mandatory minicamp. But you did hear the positive reports. Zion Young came up again and again. Trey Hendrickson's going to be really good for this team. So it's kind of not a surprise to me that the pass rush made the winners list on Josh Reed's article for Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, and you think about the last year, what were we, bottom 5 in sacks? So anything above that is a win. But I was really happy to see Zion Young's motor is as good as advertised, and the edge he brought. I know he got in a little scuffle with Emory Jones, and I'm all for it. Iron sharpening iron. As long as no punches were thrown, which they weren't, I really can't be mad at it. It's probably 85, 90 degrees in the Baltimore heat. We all know what that's like. I don't want, some big guy running at me, blocking me, trying to block me, and vice versa. So I get it. But for the pass rush, Trey Hendrickson, they posted his pictures today, and I was like, wow, he's a Raven, number 91. He is a Raven, and it's real. So I can't wait to see him out there. And then Mike Green as well. High hopes for him. I'm not trying to go double-digit expectations, but given the 7-8 range, and we're cooking, we can build on it. But how can you not be excited?
Yeah, a lot of that will depend on the leads, Alex, or Alec. But, you got to be excited about the pass rush. Just adding Trey Hendrickson. I mean, I was, doing the Kyle Hamilton pre-work study for the show, and I'm looking at Draymond Jones. Remember how happy we were to get Draymond? And he did a job for us. And, Kyle Van Noy's out there. And I'm comparing that to year 2, Mike Green, Zion back, Tavius back for a full season, and Trey Hendrickson to top it all off.
I mean, the pass rush is going to be great. I can't wait. I think the horses we have plus the scheme is going to be. I just can't wait. That's the part that you were saying earlier how it stinks over in the off season. That's the part I'm most excited for, is just seeing this revamped offense, revamped defense. Just everything is revamped this season. Even though a lot of the players are the same, I think the way we're going to play is going to be different, and that's super exciting to me.
Yeah, and Trey just sets it off, man. He really does. You need that inside push, but to have somebody that can win consistently and leads the league in fourth quarter sacks, that's really invaluable. Yeah, hey, and we got a super chat just popped in from Fergie. Fergie, what is up? Love and appreciate you guys putting content out in the dead of the off season. Yeah, dude, thanks for recognizing that. Thanks for typing that. Appreciate that, because we're coming up with the show ideas, and man, I get so desperate. I even asked Alec what he thinks, and Alec's face isn't up there, so that didn't land like it should. Yeah, I get so desperate. There he is. I even got to ask Alec for show ideas. That's when it's getting bad, right, Alec?
It is pretty bad. I'm like, dude, you live, breathe and eat this stuff. You're like half the time telling me the news, and you're asking me for ideas. I'm sure there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's
what
nothing.
What are you guys doing over on Purple Rain? I saw you talking about like the practice skirmishes, and what else you guys been talking about?
It's going deep into the bag of tricks. Thankfully, last episode we focused on like soccer and UFC. Like, it was a great weekend for sports. But our I guess ace card is we can always do a quarterback tier list. Yeah, that always will get the people talking. Those tier lists, those ranks, man, that'll cause some debate. But it's just kind of expectations, and then taking as much as we can. And more and more it feels like we're getting more articles like the one you brought up of like the winners and losers of people who were there, because we weren't able to see everything. We're kind of just grasping the straws of what a couple of people at the castle said. But outside of that, it's kind of just expectations at this point, because we don't know. It's just a whole unknown offseason. It's not John Harbaugh's team. It's something new. So what do we expect?
Vibe's pretty high over there, though, I bet, because they've been high here. So thanks, Fergie. Really appreciate that. Also, Stretch joining us again. Stretch, what's up to you, man? Thank you so much for coming in. So let's get it back on there. I got my dig on Alex, so that was great. Carson Vincent was named a winner. Two-time Pro Bowler Ronnie Stanley wasn't, active a lot for the OTAs and minicamp. So the second-year pro from Chris's school, Alabama A&M, down there in Alabama, got abundance of invaluable reps with the first-team offense and going against defensive starters as Trey Hendrickson. So, his Josh Reed's, basically reason he thought Vincent was a winner wasn't necessarily because of his performance, because obviously the pads aren't on, but he got reps with the ones against the defensive ones, which can only be good. I mean, that's really what Carson Vincent needs at this point in his career, is just reps against real competition, because we saw him in the preseason last year. He looked really good and was able to get himself active ahead of Joseph Noteboom last year. Simply, what's your thoughts on Vincent? Like, if Ronnie goes down, let's just say he misses a couple of games. Let's not get real crazy with it. And Carson Vincent has to come in divisional games, say, or an important game. How do you feel about? I mean, obviously, big drop off from starter to backup when it comes to tackles. But what's your impressions of Chris's guy, Carson Vincent?
You're throwing me in the spot with the lineman talk. That's the one position I stay away from, because I don't know jack, but I will give it my best. Small school kid, and for me, this preseason I feel like is going to be really big for a lot of these guys, including Vincent. Center spot as well. I got to see it, man. I feel like one thing I think the past couple episodes we've had is I'm giving a lot of these younger guys a clean slate. Guys like Starks, all the rookies from last year, I can't judge them what I saw, because it's a whole new staff. It's a whole new coach staff, whole new scheme and everything. My confidence level is a 5. Honestly, I don't know, if you throw him up there and you got TJ Watt lining up across from him, I'm not feeling too good. And, that's no disrespect to him, but I got to see it. If you show me in preseason, it goes out there, maybe it'll be like a 6.5 to a 7. But as a backup guy, I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not going to be mad. And Emory Jones as well. I mean, I'm going to throw his name in there because I don't think he'll be starting. He could always be a backup tackle. I know he can play tackle or guard. Anywhere except center, it feels like he can play. So one of those two guys can come in there and give you a shift. I would hope so, if Ronnie were to go down.
Yeah, and Carson has gained some strength and kind of reshaped his body a bit during this offseason. I think he was already performing quite well given, what his frame was last year. And excuse me, it's really good that he's going against Trey in practice and getting those reps. I think he could step in quite well if need be. I hope we don't really see him playing, but at the same time, I think he would be okay. And I think they really found a steal in the 5th round. It kind of worked out for him because that was the pick, if we all remember, where they just traded back 5 spots to get 5 spots in the 6. They were kind of confused. That was supposed to be Shedeur. And then they had to figure it all out. So I think it worked out well for us because we'll find our backup quarterback somewhere else.
So how about our guy Keandre Jackson? I mean, I want to put him as a winner, just from what happened during the draft and free agency. The only other safety the Ravens added was Kayvon Wallace, and that didn't come till later. So of course, Jalen Hawkins is a little bit different. You needed a third safety to replace Alohi Gilman in free agency. So Alohi Gilman, Malachi Starks, primary safety. Of course, Kyle will be back at safety, part of the time. The 4th safety, very important, has to be active on game days, has to be able to play special teams. And they did not, draft one in the 4th or 5th round who could compete with Keandre. They did not sign a veteran. They didn't bring Ardarius back. So a big win for Keandre. But what Josh Reed said simply was, after not logging a single defensive snap as a rookie, the former UDFA is on track to carve out a role for himself in that phase of the game. So, hey, not just special teams, but carve himself out a role on defense, in addition to continuing to be a special teams ace with playmaking ability and coverage he flashed on practices. We did hear about Keandre getting an interception simply and almost having another one. But, for him to evolve as a player and be trustworthy on defense would be huge. If you're going into a game with only 4 safeties, you want to free up Kyle Hamilton to not just be a safety, to be all around the line of scrimmage. Well, shoot, that only leaves you with your 2 starters and Keandre. So Keandre's got to be able to play at the drop of a hat, whoever that 4th guy is.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember, what was it? It was him, Keon Martin, and Ruben Lowry all made the team last year, I think, as UDFAs. And I think he's made the most noise. And I know Keon Martin was getting defensive back snaps, but I think he had that fumble against the Vikings, which was big. I think we got on a kickoff, forces a fumble. I think the Dolphins, he had a big hit too. Like, he brought the energy on special teams, and hearing him get some love in these practices, it's really good. And I'm glad you brought up Ardarius, because when he came back, he was playing not a significant amount of snaps, but snaps nonetheless. So I think those are Keandre's to take. Hopefully he takes full advantage, grabs by the throat, and goes on with it. But yeah, his name popped up a lot. I was noticing that when I was reading these highlights, these articles after practice. I'm like, wow, like his name's coming up a lot. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting maybe more like TJ Tampa, maybe more Jalen Hawkins, but throw the young guy out there and see what he can give you. But special teams, he'll definitely be making a name. And then if somebody were to maybe go down for a couple of plays a series, it's his role to step up. So he has the energy, he has the confidence.
He needs to, simply. He needs to. Like, again, he's going to be next man up. This is a 3 safety heavy team. So if you're the 4th safety, not only are you active and playing a lot of special teams, but you're one play away from basically being a starter in at least 2 packages, man, at least in nickel and at least in dime defense. And also, simply, do not piss Chris off. Don't PMO. You're making Alex shine, which again is darn near impossible. But Chris loves her some Carson Vincent, so she's going to need you. I'm going to say this to him, Chris, because this is something that you would say. I'm going to need you to do better, simply, than to give Carson Vincent's confidence level a 5. Need you to do better, okay?
And like Romy Rome, corner. I feel like you scolded me.
Moin, and moin to Romy Rome out there. So yeah, Keandre getting some love. Alec, I mean, I thought that Keandre played well on in preseason last year, just like Carson Vincent. I remember when I was doing the roster show with Sarah, Bobby wasn't there. It was just Sarah and I. And I say, keep an eye on Keandre Jackson. And the reason I remember that is because Keandre ended up being elevated from the practice squad and actually having a great season. I'm like, bro, I went on the vault. I looked pretty smart for anybody that caught that. So like I always remember that, you know what I mean? Because they have a big audience. But yeah, Keandre looked pretty darn comfortable during preseason. Not comfortable enough to surpass Ruben Lowry, and who else was it? Simply
Keon Martin.
Keon. Well, yeah, Keon, but he was slot. But yeah, not enough to get playing time. But I kind of liked what I saw from Keandre when he was up against the backups from the other team.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been a favorite, you know, for those in the know. He's been a favorite and he's getting a lot of buzz already. So I think he's going to have an opportunity to get a roster spot. And yeah, I'm cool. I'm looking forward to seeing like what other corner gets buzz or, you know, DB gets buzz, because I think it's inevitable. If we recall, Kone was looking pretty good until he had the terrible injury. So he's a guy to keep an eye on. They're going to have a little bit of a roster crunch with all these DBs. They drafted Rivers. So we'll have to see how they want to shape things up. That's definitely what we'll be talking about as the preseason games go along is, okay, we now after we saw what we saw here, like how are we trying to split up this DB room? How are we trying to make this 53? So
yeah, 9, 10 spots, 9, 10 spots, 10 spot, 10, 11 spots, excuse me, for DBs. It's not a lot of room when you consider who already is going to make it. And you brought up the DBs, so I'm going to skip right ahead to cornerback Robert Longerbeam. Simply, this is a guy we've talked about a lot on the program because you got Longerbeam, nickel only corner. You have Chandler Rivers was drafted in the 5th round. He's going to make the team as a 5th round pick. You would expect nickel only corner. You got Keon Martin, nickel only corner. You know, 3 guys that are undersized, and then take into account that you already got Kyle playing nickel as your base nickel, and you got Marlon who can come in and play nickel when you want to get Awuzie in there. So they can't keep 3 5'9", 5'10" corners on the team as backups. So Robert Longerbeam, Keon, somebody's getting squeezed. But according to Josh Reed, Sports Illustrated again, Longerbeam, after missing his entire rookie season due to injury, the 2025 6th rounder is not only fully recovered, but was constantly around and making plays on the ball during both OTAs and minicamp, building momentum heading into training camp. And, you know, just like a lot of these smaller corners, you know, simply you don't get to play ball unless you're around the ball, active, tough. Same qualities you see from Keon, same qualities you saw from Tavon Young, all these undersized corners that they stick in the slot. So Longerbeam is that kind of player. You know, he's going to play. He's going to fly around. He's going to be active. He's going to be tough. Fans are going to like him. You know, undersized bulldog in there. But, I mean, this is probably one of the more glowing blurbs that he wrote. You know, not only is he fully recovered, constantly around the ball, making plays on the ball during OTAs and minicamp. So it sounds like Longerbeam was tearing it up. And, again, I trust the writer's opinion on this because I've worked with him before. I've talked with him before. He's a pretty good evaluator.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up because, you know, I remember we took a defensive back and traded him that same draft class in Shaun Wade, you know, and I think he played preseason. We traded him to the Patriots. I don't see that happening with Rivers, but, you know, Longerbeam or Kone could 100% be one of those guys that could have a good preseason. The DB room gets too crowded, and we ship him out for a day 3 pick. I know EDC loves his picks. It's funny enough, Shaun Wade just got picked up by the Eagles after a good year in the UFL. I was watching a whole lot of UFL, and Shaun Wade was making a lot of plays. I need football as much as I can get, and I was watching the UFL, watch a lot of games, a lot of former Ravens in there. But, I mean, if it will be one of the two to go, I mean, I don't know who it would be, Longerbeam or Kone. I remember Kone was making noise last year, and and then I think it was like a fade route in the end zone. I think he got hurt in the preseason. It was bad. It was nasty. You could tell off rip. I mean, it's good. I think you can't have enough DBs is something I live by, because how many times have the Ravens had a stacked defensive back room and it's week 12 or 13 and we're bringing up guys off the practice squad? We're bringing up Kevon Seymour, bringing up Robert Jackson, you know, guys like that. No disrespect, but guys who have no business playing in the games we're playing and getting thrown out there and getting significant defensive snaps. So it's a good problem to have. But I hope they're so good at the point we can trade them something in return, because that's how stacked our DB room is.
Interesting point. I think, you know, for the roster competition, early look, you know, simply I would think that Kone's got a big advantage over those slot corners because, You have a Wouzier kind of year to year at this point. Marlon, what's going on with him and his contract? So Kone can stand tall outside and make those kind of plays in the end zone like the one he got hurt on. So I like Kone's chances. If he plays anywhere near like he did last training camp, Alec. Roger Longerbeam, though, study him at Rutgers. Did you see much of him? Feisty dude, apparently making plays all over training camp.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, frankly, because I remember when we drafted him, he and Rivers have a long uphill battle, in my opinion, just because the amount of snaps that they'll have available to play, just based on, what they're projected to line up is limited in the slot. So that's one of the things that I think is interesting about him is I think he needs to overperform some of the other guys even more than normal, just because of like the lack of positional versatility. What do you think about that, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that getting the snaps, I think that's a great point. Just being able to show out, get the snaps to be on the field during training camp reps. I mean, I'm not even talking about preseason games, but the Ravens are going to want to play their first team offense. They're going to want to play their second team offense or defense. Can you make it to the second team defense? Can you make it to the third team defense to actually get a chance to make plays around the ball? So, good on Longerbeam. These guys need it. Keon Martin, I'm sure, is going to be feeling the pressure. At least Keon has a resume of being a gunner on special teams and can help you in other ways. So really interesting way to watch our battles to watch those DBs. Speaking of DBs, let's skip to the bottom. Third-year pro TJ Tampa got plenty of reps with the first-team defense during the offseason programs, while veteran Chido Awuzie sat out to recover from a minor injury, and four-time Pro Bowler Marlon Humphrey opted not to show up until mandatory minicamp. So Marlon was in like Korea or something all offseason. Cheeto recovering from a minor injury. He's been backed up. TJ Tampa getting a lot of reps with the first team defense. It's simply, this is a guy I've been putting my flag down on TJ Tampa. I think this, zone heavy, cover two heavy. Minter runs the second highest rate of both defense, zone defense, and cover two defense with the Chargers over the last 2 years. That fits the skill set of TJ Tampa to be able to eye balance, squeeze in the zones, making the plays with those extremely long arms. His arms look freakishly long, and smart player, great tackler. So TJ Tampa shining with the first team simply.
Yeah, I'm excited for him at Iowa State. I remember we drafted him like, oh, that's a steal. And then, he I think he had the hernia and it set him back a while. I think missed some training camp and then never really got the play time. Still, I think hasn't gotten significant play time. I remember he had his first pick last year against the Jets, and you brought up his build. It's like his body and like his arms just go like really far down. It's like his arms are longer than his body, it feels like. But yeah, I'm excited for him. I think it's one guy I've been really happy to see. I've wanted more snaps for him, but kind of how the cookie crumbles, and then you get Jair pushing him down last year, and you think, oh, maybe he'll get some more snaps, and it just never happened. But like Mike here says, I think it's his time to break out. I really do. And with Minter last year, I mean, he had guys like St. Juice, who I remember was nothing but burnt toast in Washington, and made him a serviceable defensive back in LA. And I think that's what has me so hyped for this defense is guys like that. That's why I'm giving him a clean slate. Jesse Minter may do some miracles on these guys. I think TJ Tampa could be one of them. And I hope he's not one of the guys who has a good year and he gets that big contract elsewhere, but I could definitely see it happening. But I hope we get some good use out of him here in Baltimore.
Alec, his reps look pretty good, bro, on the highlight film. Like, he had some really nice reps.
Yeah, big physical guy. TJ Tampa, when we first drafted him, if you recall, it was right around that pick in the 4th round where, oh, man, who was the safety we coveted that the Chiefs picked up in that draft? Anyways, and we're like, oh, maybe Tampa will be a safety in this defense and kind of fit his skill set and also, the little bit slower speed. But like you said, now that Minter's here, I think he can actually be a great corner for us. And I think he gives you a little bit of a different look. I'm kind of excited to see him potentially line up in dime packages, maybe instead of Awuzie, just because I think he brings a little bit extra physicality. And I think he could play that role well. And also just frankly, a way to get him some snaps and get him some exposure because I think the team wants to see what they really have in him going forward. Because I don't know how many times they're going to pull this Awuzie card, right?
Right.
And Tampa's running a little bit out of time, but I think he can definitely contribute to this team. He's one of those guys that progressively has gotten better. I forgot that he had that hernia situation that kind of like slowed him down his rookie year, but yeah, definitely a player that I think is on the up and up.
So what's the score in the soccer game there? Simply is Ghana tearing it up? What we got
So
going on?
they won it in the 95th.
Let me guess, 0-0, 0-0, right?
It was 0-0, but Ghana scored in the 95th minute.
Ooh, okay. Got some excitement. Took an hour and a half, but they did it. They did it, right?
Hey, that's the beauty in footy. But you have Uzbekistan and Colombia at 10 o'clock, and I'm staying up to watch, and we'll probably fall asleep in the middle of.
Colombia. Fun fact: I am 1% from Ghana. What is that? Ghanaian? Not sure, but yeah, found out. Did my DNA test, ancestry a bunch ago, and was 1%. So of course I had jokes about which 1% of me was from Ghana and all that other stuff. My ability to dance, simply my ability to dance. So yeah. Lastly, on the winners list was Devontae Walker from UNC. This is also kind of a glowing report. But the starters, like two-time Pro Bowler Zay Flowers and veteran Rashad Bateman, were either absent or sidelined due to personal matters or injury or illness. Not a lot of Zay Flowers, not a lot of Bateman. The third-year pro, Devontae Walker, seized the opportunity to make his bid for the number 3 receiver spot. Despite hardly seeing the field on offense over his first 2 seasons, Walker has made the most of a handful of targets he has gotten by scoring 3 touchdowns on 6 career catches. Then something else I noticed, simply Jeff Zrebiec talking about it, Devontae Walker, just saying he looks more mature. He's showing up. So he passed the eye test not only for Josh Reed and Sports Illustrated, but also Jeff Zrebiec just saying, look, he looks more polished than the rookies. He looks like he's ready to take that next step, and that the coaches have positive things to say about him. And I take that seriously from Jeff, because it's not only what he's seeing at practice, simply it's what he's hearing around the building and all his contacts. So positive start for Devontae Walker. And there's a good possibility, injuries happen, underperformance happen, where we may need to have Devontae Walker step up and help win us some games this season.
Yeah, and I think we were talking not too long ago, and you were up to the thought of maybe bringing in a veteran receiver. Are you still feeling that same way? Or you think we're just going to roll out with the guys we have and with this Tez Walker glowing report?
Yeah, no clue. I feel like they want to give the young guys a chance. Maybe like if you add, like, the only person that's really worth adding that I've seen at least is Stephon Diggs. And if you add him, you've got to just take a step back from your rookies and be like, look, scrap all these other plans we had. We're going to get Stephon Diggs close to 100 targets in this offense somewhere. And that's going to take away from other people. And I just don't think they're ready to do that. What about you, Alec? You're on mute, buddy.
That'll do it. Sorry. I was going to say, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the path they're going to take there. I think the biggest thing I see going forward is just getting all these guys as many opportunities as possible, and just seeing what we have here. I think that's the number one thing for the wide receiver room. I really want to just, I hope that we have all the answers for the wide receiver like already on the roster.
Me too. I would give him a chance. Now, I believe in Tez. I feel like simply, some people are like really high on him, and other people just point to his inexperience. But I really do feel like he made strides last year in some route running, and he obviously gets the respect from these NFL corners. And NFL safeties, more importantly, where they're playing off, man. Like, it's not just straight speed with Devontae. He's got some height to him. He comes screaming down the field. It caused the NFL safeties in his limited snaps to get on their horse, turn their hips, and be prepared for the deep ball. And Tez, to his credit, worked on shortening his steps, chopping his steps up when necessary, changing his pace, and breaking off a couple of routes. And we saw him on a lot of drags and crossers too during the preseason last year. He was like one of their leading receivers. It was him and Tylan Wallace last year during the preseason.
Was it that Cowboys game? I think he had like 4 catches to open the drive. Like that first half, it was just a Tez Walker show. And I expect one of the games, hopefully this preseason, maybe the first one, getting those targets and maybe just kind of straight close to 2-3. You know, we've seen what we had to do. We're good for the regular season with you, Tez.
That would be a great sign. They're like, yeah, we've seen enough of Tez. Like, if we see all rookies and not a lot of Tez in the preseason, it's not because he's getting cut, Alec.
Yeah.
It's because he is in the plans, son. He is in the plans.
I think he will be in the plans. I think we've seen enough to know that he's worthy of a roster spot. I think the only question is like how he sees the moment, you know, and sees being the third wide receiver, or even, you know, will he step up to be a second? You know, could he be out there instead of Bate in some packages? I could see it as a possibility, but not that I would really want that, you know, as a Bate truther, but but I could definitely, you know, see it mattering on what they're trying to do. So yeah, there's a lot to believe in him. I think Lane obviously provides the biggest threat to his snaps.
Not Surratt?
No. I mean, we did the film study of Surratt. We said our pieces about him. I've just become more and more interested in Lane since we got him. You know, maybe I'm just being sizist, but his physique, his ability to go get contested catches and just like go outside the frame. You know, the likely comps that we've had about like the aspect he brings to the offense. It's just like it's a much more straightforward projection in my head of like how he can contribute to this offense than Surratt.
See, I kind of feel like I know what Surratt can do. I'm going to get Simply's opinion on this coming up. But like Surratt, I see him as like more advanced as a football player, IQ wise, possession receiver. So, okay, we go 3 wide receivers, maybe in this particular package or a set of downs. We got Devontae in there in the slot to stretch that slot, to really open up the field, to go deep. And then maybe if it's like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 passing situation, we have Surratt in the slot to get that tough 5, 6, 7 yards. So, you know, I kind of feel like I got the flavor with Jacoby Lane. I mean, he could be a superstar in this league. He has got that kind of physical ability. I'm not sure how ready he is. Like, I don't know what to expect. So simply the 2 rookie receivers, man. Give it to me straight, man. How you feeling about these guys? What's your feel for like what can they do this year, and then also like over the next 4 years? I would like to hear your like how ready are they now?
Yeah.
How do you see him in the next 4 years?
So for Jacoby Lane, I said this. I see him having more touchdowns than Surratt, and I see Surratt having more yards. I think Jacoby Lane inside the 20 will be a huge threat. Okay. Surratt to me, I'm not comparing the receivers at all. He gives me the same vibes as Tylan Wallace. Like, I know he's going to catch the ball. I know he'll break a tackle. I know he'll get a first down. I'm not comparing the two, but that's the vibe I get from him. Like, he's a, you know, what is that? Bring your lunch to work guy. Yeah. Like how they describe every white receiver. Like that's kind of how I feel about Surratt. Is like he's going to get the job done. He probably won't let you know about it, but he's going to move the chains. And I think with this new regime with Declan Doyle, like I went back and watched the Bears. I'm like, wow, like look at the volume they were giving Luther Burden. I know he was a 2nd round pick, but if we truly value these guys and think we got them in a good spot, give them the opportunities. And that's what I think they'll do. I don't know who will get more opportunities, but like I said, Surratt more yards, Lane more touchdowns. And for me with Lane, it feels like he has Lamar's trust already. And it's really small stuff. And maybe this is just me like looking too much into it, but even like the social media stuff, like Lamar's like, put the camera on Jacoby. I'm like, he might have his trust, and we know Lamar with his trust with likely. If he sees you one-on-one, F it, down there somewhere. I think he'll do that with Lane. I think it'll be one where he's kind of like run away from a defender, throws it up, and if Lane catches it, you're Lamar's best friend already. I can see that being a recurring theme throughout the year. And then with Surratt, like I said, chain mover, like you said, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, Surratt will get that first down.
It's funny. It's almost like he watched our film study a week or 2 ago, Alec, because current Ravens, simply I've brought up Tylan Wallace, his ability to block also from the slot. Also kind of reminds me a little bit of Willie Snead. with his ability to get open, tough runner, not like a yak specialist, but drag a dude, take catches through contact, solid like slot possession, slot type guy. So yeah, kind of see that with Elijah Surratt. Now Jay Z is leading us into our next topic, and that's Kyle Hamilton. Flock family, Minters, Ravens will dominate. I'm ready for it, man. Like this is the time of the year for me where I'm just optimistic. I'm going to feed into the hype. Give me a little clip. I'll make a mountain out of a molehill. There is time for me to be real cynical. There's going to be losses, and I'm not going to like what's happening with the coaches. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pick on some details of just about every player. But right now, I'm feeling, hey, man, I'm with Jay-Z. Let's dominate, man. Let's get ready for the Minter era for the next couple of decades and, multiple Super Bowl trophies. That's my offseason mindset right now.
I like it.
You don't get to feel like that with Sutton, do you? Like he'll cut you down running. Like you can't get away with saying what I just said.
No, it's usually the other way around.
Okay.
I'm using one like, all right, let's slow our roll right here because I've let my expectations get too high and I've been hurt way too many times. But I don't know, something different for me. Like I said, just the vibes. It was even just the smaller stuff, like the fact that we sold out a uniform reveal. I'm like, all right, like the fans are fully bought in again. We just missed the playoffs. We had kind of an embarrassing year for our standards, but the fact we're coming out for this thing with, Minter there, all these new coaches, the vibes are up, and I have no doubt, that first home game sold out. If you give me a blowout, everything you said, I'm multiplying that by 10, maybe 100. If we could go 2-0, because what we've started off the past couple of years just really poor, slow starts. We started fast this year. Just don't look back.
We need it, man. We were bad at home last year. Man, I went to the Texans game. People were rolling out after the first possession of the third quarter. Just
you were there
leaving.
Too?
Yeah, I was there, man. I had never seen the stadium like that. Simply, as soon as they went down and scored after the third quarter, people just left. They came back from their seats with like hot dogs and drinks in their hands, ate their hot dog and drink. Texans score again. They're like, I'm not sticking around for this. And I don't know. I feel like with the Minter stuff and the bad home record, Alec, I feel like our fans are just, you can feel the juice out of our fans. Maybe we can make M&T the home field advantage that it can be, and not just on night games and blackouts and stuff, but Sunday 1 p.m.s, man.
Truly. There's so much more meat that can be on that bone. I think, unfortunately, some of that magic was lost over the last few years.
Yeah,
I think they saw a little too many collapses in that stadium. You have the home opener against the Dolphins. Was that 22 collapse? And then you had what else? Of course, like all those losses last year. The AFC Championship game collapse was there. There's just a lot of. I think those have all been like a little bit of sucker punches, frankly, for the organization, and like the feeling of being able to protect the house. I forget what other team just rolled in there and trounced us, and like it was just no fun.
I just feel like even more than that, the pressure, the underperforming, it's just like the whole fan base felt this like just pressure and underachieving, and man, are we going to be able to hold this lead? And all that stuff wasn't going away as long as John Harbaugh was the coach. Those questions will be there, so yeah, like the clean slate to wash away everything you're talking about, Alec. And now when we have a lead in the fourth quarter, maybe this crowd can get hype again, and the crowd's ready to close out the game instead of sitting there on eggshells and kind of like feels manufactured noise in the stadium.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think the other thing too, frankly, the vibes are good because Harbaugh's gone, right? It's undeniable, and like the players like it, the fans are happy about it. It was definitely the right move for the organization, and then they get the right guy. I think Minter is a very, very solid choice, and then the rest of his ensemble that he's put around him, there's so few holes you can poke in them. Like I know that like we're like taking the hype and making mounds out of molehills and all that good stuff, but I feel like it's all extremely warranted. Like I'm just like bought in. Like I'm like I think this is going to be really good because it's like kind of inexcusable if they were as bad as they were last year, and it's kind of like incredibly sad that they let 2023 slip through their fingers, and it's like a little bit more understandable than 19 slipped through their fingers, and they're so much better than what unfortunately the end results have been over all these years. I saw a tweet that had like the last 4 seasons how they ended, and it's like graphic content, you know.
NSFW.
Yeah, dude, you have to like censor it in the Discord, right? Like it's just like you only look at this if you want to have a bad day. And I just think like there's this overwhelming belief that like that is now behind us, right? Those scars are behind us. And that's one thing I really wanted to like dive into with you guys one day, maybe not today, but just like when the best when your best is needed, like slogan, and also like how that manifest in these tight game situations. Like how aggressive is Minter going to be? What is his choices going to be when it comes to like going forward on 4th down to like let's keep the ball in our possession, close out a drive, or let's go for 2 here to like make it a closer game, or even to make it a 2 score, like make them have to score a touchdown or whatever. Like we're not here to like try it like, oh, we could kick a field like an extra point and then it ties, 3 points tied, but like let's make them like fight for the touchdown.
No, I'm here for it. I have a list of things I'm waiting to see on Jesse Minter. As we bring guests on during this dead period, one of the shows we're going to do is the things we don't know about Jesse Minter. That's one of them. How he handles practice. How is his challenge operation going to be? How aggressive is he going to be? How does he deal with injuries? Like, there's a lot of things we don't. How's his timeout usage? How do the Ravens react when we lose 2 in a row? And it's not all sunshines and roses.
We're never going to lose again. It's over.
I got questions. I got questions. Believe me. But we'll get to that. But I wanted to bring this up from Afia because I do think it's a good point. And Minter talked about the new Ravens, and part of the reason I'm here is to close out games. And he said like all this kind of stuff. And Afia saying Minter spoke on this blown leads. I'm hoping we'll have a better game time management. There you go, game and time management. Are we not running the ball enough? Does Minter go to Declan Doyle and be like, you better run this bleeping ball? My defense is tired, like all that stuff. But yeah, he acknowledged it, Afia. He didn't duck it. He didn't like compliment John Harbaugh overly. You know what I mean? Oh, well, Harbaugh did a good thing. Sometimes these things happen. You blow leads, stuff. He did not do that. He recognized the elephant in the room was this is Baltimore Ravens defense. Simply anything to add to that, because I do have a Kyle Hamilton quote that kind of goes with this as well.
I do. It's what Al was talking about. I think for me last year when I was going to the games, I went into the game expecting us to blow a lead. I remember the Patriots.
It's sad, bro.
We had everything to play for. It was me and like 8 other people, friends, guys I work with, and like we were all talking about. We're like, what do you guys expect tonight? I'm like, well, we'll probably go up early and then we'll probably blow it. And that's exactly what happened. And I shouldn't be going into games like that, with the amount of talent we have, with a thing, the head coach, we had a veteran head coach, last year in Harbaugh, and that shouldn't be happening, but fans shouldn't be doing that. And like I said, we had, I think the North was still in play. Like,
of course,
right. And it's just
I was telling myself, I'm like,
North was ours to win that game.
Yeah, I'm like, the Ravens can get in the playoffs, maybe make some noise. I'm glad we didn't, for what it's worth, but it was all to play for, and the fact, Derrick Henry not on the field, stuff like that.
It's all there for us. Simply, that goes back to what we was just talking about with the vibe in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Like the players were feeling it, the fans were feeling it. You're going to a game, this huge game with this big opportunity to put our foot down in the AFC North, and you're thinking, man, I have a feeling when we play this soft defense, lay back, man, Drake May's going to just find a way at the end. You're not thinking, man, Derrick Henry's going to, we're going to run these guys into oblivion. You're not thinking, and that's sad, bro. That's the albatross that's out of the building now, hopefully.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was like a 3rd and 17. Drake May 5-6 seconds over the middle, wide open, and you just expect those. Anytime it's 3rd and long, I'm like, how are we going to give up first down here? I don't expect to think that way this year, but last year you couldn't trust this defense on any 3rd and long because they would
Mhm.
go soft, and then somebody's wide open right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, the D was not it, and that's unfortunately where the standard was not being met. You know, we had a lot more of those games that the D just like did its part, and we brought in the boy genius to, fix that. We already had the pieces. That was like I think the worst part about the damn defense situation is like you look at the roster and you're like, is this an all pro team or is this just like a team? Like there's so many darn good players on that defense to be playing at that level. It's embarrassing, frankly.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean the pass rush was not good, but then you had a lot of talent elsewhere. So
Mhm.
it was better defense than those numbers we kept bringing up week after week last year, Alec. Like, it was much better. Like, Minter had worse talent. You simply brought up Benjamin St. Just. You had Cam Hart. You had Tony Jefferson in that secondary. The Ravens secondary is better than that. It was last year. Marlon was not put in positions to succeed. Marlon was exposed. I think he did look a little old, slow. Good coaching makes a big difference. And what Kyle Hamilton said on Minter's defense, there's no gray area. That's huge, especially in a sport like this. Being connected. They always preach that. It's on our wall in the meeting room. And simply, this is not just coach speak or player speak here. You see this with Jesse Minter's defense. The heavy cover 2 usage, the heavy zone defense usage. Their thing is to play on a string with each other where everybody's looking for the same thing on defense. They're not with their back to the quarterback, chasing receivers around man to man. They're set back in their zones. They're squeezing their zones. Everybody knows what they're expected to do, hence the no gray area. You know what I mean? So it allows them to play faster, freer, and being connected as a defense, playing on a string together. One side moves, the other side moves. It's just like an equal one force, an amoeba type defense where they're all just flying to the ball together. So it goes like this is the principle of the defense. Like this isn't just talk from Kyle. He is phrasing it in an excellent way, but communication, overperforming with the players that you have, communication tight, lets you play fast and free and show that talent that the Ravens are paying for on defense.
Yeah, you bring it up. I think one word I've heard a lot, I mean, not just defense, but offense as well, is that word connected. I know Declan Doyle feels like when I hear him talk, he says at least 5 or 10 times. But it's one thing that really preaching on, like Alex said, like the standards that we were so accustomed to. And I hate saying that because like I hear Mike Tomlin in my ear saying the standard is the standard.
Yeah.
I feel like I associate that with the Steelers, but it's the truth here with the Ravens. The standard for us was, not giving up a 100-yard rusher, defense being top 5 minimum, always in top 3. That's what I know I grew up when we all watched from the early days, and it just dropped off in recent years. Even, in 24, it was a good year, but that defense the first half of the year was so poor. We got lucky, switching things around in the back end, and we played some pretty favorable offenses. But like with this team, it's just different. And hearing, Hamilton, who a lead on the defense, talking this highly, it is good to hear. And there's still so many unknowns, with Madubuike as well. Is he coming back? I think he is. You throw him on this defense now. I mean, come on. Along with the edge rushers we were talking about earlier in the show, I feel like I'm being spoiled. As we're talking about Kyle Hamilton, maybe I'm that spoiled Ravens fan that he was talking about. But we have the pieces, and I think that's why we are just allowed to have these expectations and just be so excited.
Love it. So, Alec, I've been hearing I overhear some things that blow my mind. And I don't know if they're just old narratives from the Harbaugh era or what, but I keep hearing this thing where people are like, Marlon is the nickel corner. Marlon is the nickel. No, Kyle Hamilton is the nickel corner. They did not sign Jalen Hawkins to have Kyle playing the back end of cover 2. Okay. Kyle needs to be around the ball. He will be around the line of scrimmage. He is going to be in that nickel spot. It's a 3 safety defense. Jesse Minter said they're going to use him like they used Derwin James. Did they have Derwin James in the back of the defense in back of cover 2? Hell no. They had Derwin James at the line of scrimmage. So, I mean, I hear this a lot on popular shows and Ravens podcasters and stuff. Kyle Hamilton is your nickel back on this team. And I'm going to show you exactly what he means to this defense, because whether we're playing base, nickel, or dime, Kyle Hamilton is in a different spot in each one of those defenses. So let's take a look at our heavier defense, our base defense. Okay, and I'm going to make our heads smaller on here. Take off the chat. Okay, Alec just got better looking. So on defense, when we have our base 3-4, your 3-4 is your 3 down linemen, which is Calais Campbell, Travis Jones, and Matabike in this example. And your 4 is your 4 linebackers, your 2 edge linebackers, Trey Hendrickson and Latavius here, and your 2 middle linebackers in Roquan and Teddy Buchanan in this example. So there's your front 7. You see them all in the middle. That's your 3-4. So how many guys are on defense? 11. Okay, so when you're playing the base defense, you only have 4 DBs. That's where you have your 2 corners. I went with Marlon and Wiggins in this example. And this is when Kyle will be at safety. This is the defense in which Kyle plays safety. I'm going to guess Malachi Starks stays on the field 100% of the time. He goes to the free safety spot. So the Ravens played this base defense about 20% of the time. They're only playing this when, obvious rundowns or when the other team brings in 2 non-targets like a fullback and a blocking tight end. This is where you see Kyle Hamilton at safety in the base 3-4. Our most played defense is nickel. Okay, so this is what we're playing 60-some% of the time. 2/3 of the game, we are going to be in your nickel defense. And of course, we brought in Jalen Hawkins to play that Alohi Gilman role. Again, Kyle is not going to be on the back end of these defenses. He could be around the line of scrimmage. You see where I have him here. They can also line him up in the A gap across from the center. They can move him around to the other side. They can do whatever the heck they want with Kyle Hamilton because you have 5 DBs on the field. So there you go, your 4-man front. You got your 2 linebackers and your 5 DBs in the nickel defense. So Kyle moves there. When we went to dime last year, Kyle moved again. Kyle was that quote-unquote linebacker. You see, I got him on the overhang here, but basically playing next to Roquan Smith and being that dime backer. This is where you'll see Marlon Humphrey in the slot when we go 6 DBs. So I just wanted to clear that up. Unless they're completely changing it up and Jesse Minter was lying to us and he's just going to use Kyle Hamilton like the Ravens use Chuck Clark, that's where you'll see Kyle Hamilton moving all around the field. Again, that's why they felt the need to trade for Alohi Gilman last year, because the front office and John Harbaugh and Zach Orr didn't have the foresight to use Kyle as a chess piece for the first 6 weeks of the season. Just the most idiotic stuff I've ever seen. So there you go. That's the base nickel and dime defenses as I'm predicting. And of course, this will switch up as training camp nears. But we have something very important to get to, guys. So I am going to play before presenting. Take that off. Okay. I will listen to you. Tried to be smooth there. It backfired. Number 14 himself, Kyle Hamilton. We are almost an hour into the show, so we're not going to waste too much time. But we got to run the first few minutes of this highlight video and just show the people what number 14 can do. And you guys probably know what's coming up on this first play, right? Kyle Hamilton lined up in the A gap, Shedeur Sanders at quarterback. Anybody got a prediction of what this is going to be?
That's a good one. Also, I don't know what shows people are listening to that have Hamilton not playing. And
I'm not going to call anybody out.
Right? Just don't listen to him. I recommend just keep replaying Huddle It Up the films if you're looking for content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So simply, what happens on this play? You see Kyle Hamilton highlighted. Do you remember?
Is this the sack?
Yeah.
This is we're flicking the wrist up.
We're flicking the wrist up. So the great part is a spin move on the running back, closes on Shedeur, and of course, he's going to do the wrist right there. So here he is in the Dolphins, and again, he is at nickel, or he is at in the slot at nickel cornerback. So you have Starks in the deep half right there. Let's see what Kyle Hamilton does here. Destroys this blocker and horse collars. We're not horse collars, hog ties that Dolphins defender. One of my favorite reps in the year. So Kyle, you little cornerback right here, throws that guy out of the way. And I think that's H.N. that, man, they got him up high, just tackled. So here it is at strong safety. This was earlier in the season. There's Kyle. This is before we traded for Louis Gilman. Is Kyle good at strong safety? Hell yeah. Check out the range on this play, guys. I mean, it's amazing. You wonder why he's all pro. And he shows it to you right there. Look how fast he goes. Look how much ground he covers. Forces the fumble and everything. Yeah, thought he was slow.
Wow.
So there's a rep from strong safety. Okay, here, again, this is your nickel defense. You see Trenton Simpson on the edge. You see Roquan in the middle. So this might actually be dime. Louis Gilman back at the safety spot. Again, they want that. This is going to be Jalen Hawkins. They want Kyle Ohio line of scrimmage. Caleb Williams, he's going to rush the A-gap, run the pick play, but find himself with the quarterback hurry. So his job here is basically to pick that guy for Roquan. But not only does he pick out 62, but he is the first one to get to Caleb Williams, makes him throw it away. That should be intentional grounding, and there you see the flag. Kyle off the edge, J.J. McCarthy, batted pass again. So Kyle, again, he's going to creep up on the left side. Sneaks in there, man. Like the ability to get skinny. You see it right there, Alec. Love this, man.
He's very good. Yeah. The Athletic Football Show did an exercise this week where they draft players under 26, and he went very early, as you can imagine.
They count quarterbacks in that?
No, they didn't. Quarterback was not one of the positions.
So here you go again with the dime defense, simply, where he's playing kind of a dime backer here.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a little skinny to play linebacker, right? Simply.
Tell you what, I just get more and more amazed when you sit back and you watch, not in real time, how freaking good he is, and the fact that people were calling him a bust after a clip recorded against Bailey Gaither in an open practice.
Bailey Gaither.
Yeah, Bailey Gaither.
Nice.
This is one of my favorite plays, guys, because of the IQ. Now he's got James Cook man to man here. So obviously James Cook, the running back from the Bills, a dangerous player. And I think his assignment on here, of course, we don't know. But if James Cook stays in the block, Kyle, I want you to blitz. And if James Cook runs a pass pattern, I want you to cover him. So basically he's got Cook man to man, but if Cook is a blocker, I think his job is to attack Josh Allen. So I want you to watch Kyle Hamilton's mind work on this play. Okay, Cook's going in the backfield. I got to attack. Oh, nope. Cook comes out. Now watch what he does to shove Cook out of bounds so he can't be the first one to touch the ball. And that frees him up for the interception and the ill-advised pick to KVN. But that whole play, bro, that whole play from start to finish, I think I have to blitz. No, I have to cover. And then to have the mental awareness to know that if I push him out of bounds, he can't touch the ball first, and frees him up to just get in the quarterback's throwing lane. One of my favorite plays, underrated plays of the year. Again, physical around the line of scrimmage. Blitz him off the edge, man. I mean, if you watch this video, it's basically 8 minutes of Kyle Hamilton doing that. There's another one showing his range. So this one was early in the season again. So, of course, early in the season, before they got a Louis Gilman, you see your two high safeties. Kyle was not able to be up around the line of scrimmage and attacking. Marlon in the slot here. So I think that's where people get that Marlon is our starting slot. He is not. Kyle is not going to be back here to start the year. But when you do play him at strong safety in those base defenses, this is the kind of crap he can do. And that's sniff out a screen pass and finish with fury. I mean, 65 or whoever that is like, how the hell am I supposed to block this guy? Another pass rushing rep where he's handling John Simpson and company right there. How'd you like to be J.J. McCarthy trying to deal with Kyle Hamilton?
Mr. 9.
That's Kyler Murray's job, right? Simply.
You have to think so. Everything I've seen, it is.
So
but
smooth.
So smooth. What a dominant performance. Try to block him with a wide receiver. That's not going to work. Here he is 1-on-1 against Mike Gesicki. And dude, that's a 2 or 3 yard pass. That's supposed to be completed. He's getting pick action right there. He's got to go avoid Malachi Starks. Still gets in there to break up the play. So we could watch this on and on. Feel free to check out the highlights here on the channel. I'm going to cut it off right there. But there you go, guys. You see Kyle Hamilton making plays from multiple alignments, strong safety, free safety, linebacker, A-gap, off the edge, chasing plays down. And Jesse Minter, you've got to love the fact that this defense, again, is on the same page. That's what we keep hearing about. Let's bring it up again. Kyle says there's no gray area. No gray area for Kyle means Kyle can be his best self, simply.
Yeah, and I feel like that was Kyle Hamilton being the Ravens defense for 8 minutes. That video, honestly, because that's all, most of our good plays came through him. And like you said, no gray area for him. Let him play freely and let him be the chess piece. Make the quarterback's life a living hell. Keep him confused. We have him locked down for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah,
4 years,
dude, his
right?
contract just started.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
I couldn't believe it, because I was looking at the cap hits and our defensive, we're at the second highest paid defense. I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of inflated because Roquan's in his next to last year, these prices. But Kyle was under the cap for like $10 million this year, so second year of his deal, simply.
Okay, cool. Marlon and his contract's coming up.
Bloated, right?
Yeah. Then Madubuike, we're on year 3 of that now. So we're getting up there with his. So that makes sense. But Kyle, man, freaking 1 of 1. 1 of 1. I can't describe him any other way. I really can't.
Worth all the
Alec,
dollars.
wouldn't it be cool if he was able to win Defensive Player of the Year, which is stacked against him because they always give it to whoever has the most sacks? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like that would be an upset of all upset. That would almost be like a running back win an MVP, not Offensive Player of the Year, but MVP.
Yeah, I could see it happening if he has just an unbelievable statistical year. Unfortunately, what he brings down to down is never going to be appreciated. It's a accounting stat award or a diversity and inclusion award when Josh Allen wins.
Oh, there we go.
But anyways, yeah, I think he would have to have like numerous picks, numerous forced fumbles, sacks, just like he had to be the talk of the town. I think it's possible under Minter's tutelage, but yeah, he would have.
What kind of stats would he have to have, guys? What kind of stats would he have to have? Like,
I think he would have to have like 5 picks. He probably have to like go 5 for 5 for 5. Like 5 picks, 5 forced fumbles, and 5 sacks. I don't know.
Yeah, I see the
What
same
do you
thing.
think?
It has to be something outlandish we've never seen before for him to win it.
What about like a Ed Reed style pick 6 in a big game, like say against the Bills or against the Falcons when it's televised, or like where he wins the game by himself, basically?
I think like there'd have to already be a drum beat for that to happen.
Yeah.
You would have to already have like enough other things going on, and that would have to cap it off at the end. Or something.
Right.
So I don't know. I think, like I said, unfortunately, what he unlocks for a defense and his down-to-down play will never be appreciated from that particular award.
Our guy Jake, Judge Baltimore.
That's funny.
You have a problem on defense? If so, call 1-800 Hamilton. It's funny, dude, because I think the Ravens did a great thing bringing in Jalen Hawkins, because Jalen Hawkins can also play free safety. And I just, I know I'm broken record with this, but I just want Kyle around the ball as much as possible. I don't want him to be the back end guy. But yeah, they're beating us over the middle. Kyle Hamilton, you can put him up there. They have a great tight end. Their whole offense runs through them, like maybe the Las Vegas Raiders, who we don't play this year, but they got Brock Bowers and nobody else. Maybe you put Kyle Hamilton on him and bracket him in addition to it. But yeah, man, it's just been a constant theme, hasn't it, Jake? Like, man, that Marcus Williams, Eddie Jackson season. And part of the defensive upswing, I do think had to do with competition level. But we won a playoff game with Kyle Hamilton at free safety, and breaking up a pass from Russell Wilson and dominating those fools at home, which was like the last good moment in the Harbaugh era, that home win against Pittsburgh.
It was electric there. I was there for that one. I won't forget that. Good times. You bring up the tight end, though. I'm looking forward to the Harold Fannin Hamilton one-on-ones this year if we can get them.
Yeah.
I have as a rival fan, I have high hopes for Fannin. I like him a lot. I really like him. I think he's having a good year with the Browns and might emerge the top 5 tight end possibly. Maybe my a prediction for me, but I like him a lot. I do. I think we'll see some good matches between those two guys this year, twice a year.
Yeah. I think Uncle Todd over there is definitely going to want to use Fannin in that slot move role, where I kind of have Devontae Walker in this Ravens offense. That's where Harold Fannin's going to be. And you notice Kyle Hamilton lined up right across from him. So yeah, the Fannin versus, man, that will be a tough matchup. But yeah, my goodness, Jake, like Kyle has solved so many problems. And I just hope that he doesn't have to solve a problem this year. I hope that he is just strictly a weapon. Now, you saw this man in the chat just a little while ago. And now he is here. Do you want to give me a thumbs up, buddy? All right, got a thumbs up. Don't never want to just throw somebody on camera before they're not ready. Feel like that's professional. But our guy, man. There he is right there. Team Keep It Clean. With the jacket.
man.
Dude, I got to get the scroll. I got to get the script off of this, man. We got to give Engraven a hard time about the flyest gear and the wet. Like, I got my film sweatshirt. Look at this thing, man. Now, I saw people. You was on with Sarah and Bobby, and I saw people commenting on the what is it, dude? Is it a sweatshirt or track? What is it?
Nah, it's just a little jacket. It ain't nothing crazy. It's just a little white jacket. It ain't nothing crazy though, man. How y'all doing?
Colors?
Yeah, we got a couple different colors. Man. Nothing crazy though, man. But what's up? What's up, Simply?
What up? What up? How we doing?
I like the mustache, man. That's clean. Man.
Thank you.
No problem, man. Alec, what's happening with you, man?
Oh, not much. Not much. Just enjoying talking with the boys.
That's how it is, man. And Jason, last but not least, man, what's up, man?
I'm having a great time. So you don't think Alex looks like he's going to beat somebody with a billy club with that mustache?
Oh, going golf, huh? Oh, Alec.
No,
oh, Alex.
A billy club, like with his mustache.
Nah,
you don't look like a crooked cop.
Nah,
or nothing like that?
Nah, he look like he go painting or something like that, man. Like he gonna do painting with a twist or something like that. Man.
His butt crack showing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Painters
maybe
painter's butt crack. Yeah, Team Keep It Clean. So I like to put a little pressure on Engraven early in the program, but I'm not gonna say nothing crazy. I'm not.
I ain't never no pressure, man. We all chilling, man.
Hey, did you get to catch some of that Kyle Hamilton film study?
Well, I got to catch a tiny bit of it, man. But I liked how you said just about Kyle Hamilton having the freedom, and I think that's important that he has the freedom that he started to have toward the last half of last season, but having that freedom from jump, having that freedom from the very, very beginning. Because if Kyle Hamilton can just be Kyle Hamilton, not just be a safety, not just be your linebacker, not just be a pass rusher, not just be a slot corner, but if he can be Kyle Hamilton, then we'll be set, man, because he impacts the game so many ways. I just saw an article earlier today that said they believe that Kyle Hamilton is the most important Baltimore Ravens player besides Lamar Jackson. I had to think about that. I said, you know what, that might be right, because Kyle Hamilton, like he changes this whole defense just like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see Jesse Minter just change everything with that defense, man. That defense has been bad for the last couple of years. It's been lackluster the past couple of years. The pass rush been bad. So then the secondary, they've been bad. I know y'all were just talking about Marlon Humphrey and his contract and everything like that. We just hoping Jesse Minter can just turn us around, man, because it's been rough, man. Rough.
So I love this comment from Tomato right here, Craven. It kind of goes along with what you're talking about. The ultimate ceiling raiser. When your defense is doing their job, then he can be the tip of the spear. So it goes along to like with the point I made with Judge Baltimore's comment. Instead of using him as this, fire hydrant, man, or fire extinguisher to put out all these fires, He can be the tip of the spear, and Graven. He can be the weapon on this defense. Everybody else is doing their job. That frees Kyle Hamilton up to be a playmaker and not just a safety blanket covering for a weakness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's it, playmaker. And yeah, you did talk about that. Can he win Defensive Player of the Year? But they do favor it to the guys that get all the sacks.
What would he have to do? What would he have to do?
Let him get a bunch of sacks too, so they can't deny him.
All right.
If he's top, I mean that's a lot to ask now. But it is Kyle Hamilton. He can do everything. He can play every position. So if Kyle Hamilton could be like top 15, top 20 in sacks, and he's a safety, you got to remember that. So I know when you say it's top 15, top 20, it don't sound sexy. Like, oh, top 20 in sacks, what's that? But he's a safety. So he could be top 20 in sacks. He get his interceptions, get his sacks, get his forced fumbles. Just make his plays. He got a shot. He got a real shot. So we rooting for Kyle Hamilton to win Defensive Player of the Year. We went rooting for Lamar to win MVP. And obviously, most importantly, rooting for our Ravens to win the Super Bowl. It'd be nice if we could go the Mike McDonald route, but just a year early. Cut it in half.
Cut it in half, yeah. Maybe maybe we can double them up in Graven. Maybe we can
well, let's get the first one first. Let's get that first one first. Because
we established earlier that we're never going to lose again. So therefore, Super Bowls forever.
There we go. We straight. We set. We ain't losing. Yeah, let's get it, man. Let's make it happen. That'd be crazy. I remember back in 2019 when we were in the middle of that 12-game winning streak. This is why I just can't get ahead of myself no more, because we were winning game after game after game after game. And I remember talking about it in a video. Somebody sent in a question like, "Oh, what about how's our dynasty gonna be? How's our Ravens dynasty?" And I was like, "Yeah, after we win this one this year, we could win another one. Our team is so young, then we can win another one after that." But we obviously ain't even get that first one in this era yet. So I can't get too ahead of myself. Yeah, we got to get that first one first and then go from there.
That's what I'm saying. It is my time of year, though, where I get optimistic. I was talking about that earlier. Graven, something that you missed earlier, I want to go back on and get your thoughts on, is that with this Minter, just the coaching change ran from Harbaugh. You know, all three of us shared our stories from inside at the stadium, and I think you could feel it on game days too through your TV, where it's just like, big game coming up. Simply was talking about the Patriots game, where he's like, "Man, I hope we don't, get a lead and blow it." I feel like, what did you say about it? Simply like, I have a feeling this is what's going to happen. Like
he expected it to happen.
Yeah, we were like, man, we're gonna go up and then it's gonna fall apart. And what happened?
So
fell apart.
In Graven, like what I'm really, and that's sad, dude. That is sad. But being in that stadium, the players on the sideline, I think, felt it. The fans felt it. All this pressure and all that history. Like I'm really hoping with Jesse Minter that we can go back to this, where it's fourth quarter and we're up 10, and that crowd is ready to close out the game, and they're louder than they've been all game, and not just kind of like, we're being loud because we're supposed to. But we're all just kind of really nervous right here. Like, I'm hoping that the coaching changes that, and we can get a game early that we really close this out. Maybe hand the ball to Derrick Henry a bunch of times too, and just stomp all over him. Play to our strengths that we know this team has.
No, that's important. I think there'll be a lot of excitement from jump from Ravens fans because, like you said, it is a new era. It's a new coaching staff, so it's new expectations. With the Ravens, what was so frustrating about them. And I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today. You think about a lot of games in the regular season, but certainly the playoffs too. They are a team where you always got a chance. The Ravens always got a chance. They hardly ever in the playoffs never get blown out in this era, but in the regular season, hardly ever get blown out. The last time we got blown out was against the Texans, but I don't even think Lamar wasn't even playing that game. But with Lamar, when the last time we got blown out with Lamar playing? Was it against the Bengals back in like 20 something? I forgot what year that was. I think that might have been, but I don't remember beyond that. But Ravens are a frustrating team because they always have a shot, they always have a chance, and they will take you through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, and they will be in it to the very, very end. But every year, they keep finding creative ways to lose. Like Simply talked about going into the game. He expected us to go up, and we did. But then he also expected us to fall down, and we unfortunately did. But I think under Jesse Minter, we don't know how things are going to be yet. We got our expectations, we got our hopes, we got what we want to happen, but we don't know how things are truly going to be yet. So while a lot of us are nervous about this new regime, we're excited about it too, but we're nervous because we just don't know. I think that's going to give us that much more excitement. Like, all right, when we in this situation, how's it going to be? I know you were just talking about it too. Like, oh, if the Ravens, hopefully we don't, but I know you were just talking about it. What if the Ravens, if they lose 2 games in a row and everything ain't all sunshine and rainbows and peaches and cream and all that? How is the team going to respond? So these are all different situations that we're not looking forward to going through all those situations, but stuff is going to happen. It's a new team, new head coach. Everything is new. So it's going to take time for players to get adjusted, take time for the coaching staff to get settled in and whatnot. But I still think that it's going to be a lot of energy from the fans because this is something new. And when you have something new going into a season where you've been through so many seasons already, where your team has been in win now mode for forever, like Ravens never got out of win now mode. Even in the middle of a transition from one quarterback to the next, a lot of teams can't say that. A lot of teams can't be like, oh, we went from one quarterback to the next quarterback and we stayed in win now mode. No, when you go from one quarterback to the next, usually teams are rebuilding. They starting over. They starting from scratch. They tearing everything down and starting over. Ravens didn't have to do that because while Joe Flacco was still here, they were still in win now mode. They didn't always win now, but they were in win now mode. Then they went to Lamar Jackson and they remained in win now mode. So it's been a smooth transition, a smoother transition than most franchises ever go through. So now with them remaining in win now mode and them still having a new head coach, then yeah, we're excited, man. So I'm sure everybody at M&T Bank Stadium, they're gonna have their concerns, but more than anything, everybody's gonna be hyped.
So Alec, all that being said, which I think was just some great points, doesn't this mean that, and you're on mute by the way, so you can get ready. Doesn't this kind of make it important that we get off to a fast start? Like that we build on this, that we win a game, that we close out a game, that we're using our challenges right, that we're going for it and actually making it when we're going for it. To just like where our coaching staff and this vibe is just different from the start, and we don't start feeling that pressure of the hardball disappointments.
Speed off the ball, man. Just gotta perform. Like, I mean, we already discussed we're not gonna lose, so I don't know why I would think it's gonna be a slow start. But no, in all seriousness, man, like that's why kind of we were talking about this home opener, it's week 2. That's why I'm like, I need to like drop all plans, make sure I'm there. Okay. Normally I would be not there for that particular one, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna make it work because it needs to be done. It's gonna be a whole new era. I can't wait to feel the excitement. Mm-hmm. And I think frankly, like like we said, the vibes are good right now. We want to keep that going. And I think the last thing we need is this team feel like, oh, it's the same old when it's all said and done. I don't think that, but I'm not worried about that happening. I don't see that happening. There's too much talent on the team. They know what to do. And the start of the season's very doable.
I like this chart, by the way, because it's not going by last year's records. It's going by what they're expected to win in the Vegas odds. So it's not who the team was last year. It's who the team's supposed to be this year. And of course, the casinos always win. So these numbers tend to be more accurate than what happened with these teams last year. So you can see where the tough part of the schedule is, week 7 through 12, the beginning part of the schedule, you see those greens. Colts projected 8 wins, Saints 7.7, Dallas 8.9 wins. That's an above 500 team right there. Titans 6.7 wins. Don't like the Titans roster, by the way. I was looking at that. I don't think they helped Cam Ward enough. Like that offensive line doesn't look good. The weapons don't look great. They added Carnell Tate, which will help. But and then you get the Falcons a night game, 7.5 wins. Then you get Uncle Todd, where you go to Uncle Todd at the Browns. So there you go to get off to that quick start. Not only that, you kind of want to because there's primetime games against good teams like the Chargers and the Jags are coming up. The Bills are coming up. And, of course, the end of the schedule, all that division game simply. So we need to get off to a good start here.
Yeah, and then one thing I know is that the Bengals and Bills, they have their bye weeks before they play us.
Oh yeah.
So they're playing
Yeah.
us with a week rest. But I look at the first couple of games, much like Alec, I will be there, the home opener. I'm getting down Baltimore like 9 a.m. Like I'm making a whole day out of that. Like I'm that excited. New uniforms. I'm hoping you come off a nice week 1 win against the Colts. But it's nice that we're not starting a game prime time against a team that broke our hearts the year before. 24 played the Chiefs last year, played the Bills. Like cool. Give me Daniel Jones or maybe Anthony Richardson. I'm not sure who's starting quarterback for them. If DJ will be ready. Give me that, It's a good test. Let me see how much better this defense have gotten. Stop Jonathan Taylor. Show me. And it'll be a great litmus test. And if you can I hope you're 6-0 come that hard stretch, but 5-1, I'll take it. And just we roll and we move. But we were done a favor the first couple of games. The Brazil game, I do expect us to win that. That'll be fun. That'd be interesting. First time in Brazil. Besides that, I mean, let's go on a run, and much like Alex said, I don't see a loss here. 17-0. I actually booked my flights to the Super Bowl, and I
There you
have
go.
tickets for you guys as well. So I have 3
There
extra
you go.
tickets.
Ah.
SeatGeek, Ticketmaster.
Where is the Super Bowl?
LA.
Yeah.
It's LA.
You had to think
I'm fine.
about it, dude. That's how I know
Okay,
you're full of
dude.
crap.
That's,
There you go.
Well, I have the World Cup on my mind.
Ain't it in San
Right,
Francisco?
right.
There you go.
I think
come
it's
on.
I think you got the wrong California
I'm
stadium.
thinking about the World Cup. All right, but for the Super Bowl, yeah, I'll see you there. I don't know who the halftime show will be. Hopefully, it's somebody we all like, and then we can enjoy it. So
It's gonna be K-pop, man. It's gonna be BTS.
Really?
I mean, it's not announced yet. I'm just telling you what it is. Mark it here.
Bieber. Give me some Bieber in LA.
I thought it
You
was
just asked-
SF, isn't it SF?
So
I
wait a
thought I
minute.
saw something say it was gonna be Miley Cyrus.
I'm not.
So I guess we'll see though, man. But I think it was
You're right.
I think it's Jason. Yeah, Jason. He brought up a really, really good point in the comments. He said too many people are holding on to the Harbaugh scars. Ravens fans need to purge that toxic mentality. And see, in my opinion, I think that's easier said than done. Reason being because Harbaugh is what we've known for the last 18 years. So say, for instance, if you was in a relationship with somebody for 18 years and then it just ended abruptly, and especially out of nowhere too, you didn't even see it coming, and then you moved on to somebody new, you're going to have a lot of trauma issues in your past, baggage from the past with you in that new relationship. And it's not the new person's fault, but you done been through 18 years with somebody. So hopefully that new person can usher you into a new era and things will be a lot different in a good way. Obviously, they're going to have their issues too. They're going to have their things that they should do better and whatnot. It ain't going to be perfect, but hopefully it's better. So I can't blame any Ravens fan, including myself, for still always thinking about what we went through with Harbaugh, the good and the bad. Recently the bad, or recently the not good enough, because it wasn't all bad with Harbaugh, it just wasn't good enough. So it's hard to let that go because we haven't even got to fully see the new era yet. We heard about the different things in practice. We heard about how they run in the show, they building relationships, they got great communication and all that. But we got to start seeing the games to truly start to move on from John Harbaugh, in my opinion.
John Scarball. We're scarred, bro.
Scarball.
Start it up, man. Get it going. Keep it. Once you say
I
that
like
on
that
your
one,
channel
man.
now, yeah, there you go. You're doing that going on the Purple Rain podcast. We are scarred.
Oh
We're
boy.
Scarball, man. But yeah, fast start. That's what I'm looking for. Fast start. Close out the games and really kind of build on the good vibes that we've had, man. Just build on these good off-season vibes. I feel like we were ready for this. The city was ready for this. Bishotti's instincts were right on.
Yes.
He should not feel regret. The players are juiced. The comments coming out. I mean, we brought up some Lamar comments last week in Graven. Saying stuff like on Declan Doyle with the way he calls plays, his creativity with his mind and how detailed he is. It's like mind-blowing. I'm excited. This is coming from the should have been 3-time MVP. Talking about Jesse Minter saying, I feel like our coach is like one of us. It's awesome to have this feeling right now. And like, this is the kind of stuff that you don't hear Lamar say about coaches. Zay Flowers, he's going to talk him up. Mark Andrews, he's going to talk him up. but mind blowing. Awesome to have him this feeling right now. Feels like coach is one of us. Zay Flowers, some of the comments he's made about Declan Doyle, just like all this organic stuff coming out. Like the hype is real. This is not just us trying to spin it positively. Like the players are feeling this change as like the best thing that could happen. So we need to keep it going, man. That's my keep it going, man. Week 1, important game, the most important game of the year. Let's look at it as week 1.
Yeah, that's real. I agree.
Alec, what do you have to say on that? I didn't hear you last week too much, but like these comments are coming out from Lamar are they're pretty strong, man.
No, I mean, it's a different tune. It's a different tune. You know, he can say whatever he wants about like his relationship with Harbaugh, but I think he already has more confidence in the staff. I feel like,
right?
You know? Like because it's just straightforward, man. Like he's getting challenged. He's getting challenged. He's not, getting handled with kid gloves. He's getting coached hard, and that's what he wants, and that's what every, high performing athlete's going to want. So it makes all the sense in the world. Like I think it's a whole different tenor from everyone on the team. It's just like a whole new level of competency. I feel like in the house. So yeah, it's modern too. I think
we heard it from Kyle Hamilton. We heard it from Roquan. It's been all these like little comments, not viral comments, but like these little things you pick up on that are just like, yeah, I can play free now. Yeah, there's no gray area. Yeah, this, we're doing this now. Would Zay Flowers say they're not just screaming at us, they're telling us why we're doing this and that. So I could really say like all these things that could have went viral during the season. It's just some, I guess, like low key underground where you could really feel like they're feeling the new coaching staff. They're happy, man. And you need your players you need motivated employees, even though this is a game, cutthroat business, millions of dollars on the line. It still feels good to feel good.
Yeah, man, that's real. I like that. It feels good to feel good, man.
That's tough.
Right.
That's nice.
You're more productive, man. Thank you.
They need to put that on the wall in the locker room, man. Before that wall where they hit it, they play like a Raven before they about to play together. They need to put it feels good to feel good, man. So that might help them win just a bit more, man. But yeah,
there you go. You got Scarball, and you got it feels good to feel good. There used to be a phrase, "It's great to be young and a Baltimore Oriole," but that phrase died in the 80s, somewhere around there. I almost sent Engraven our record after like the Orioles record after 17 games, but then after 34 games, but then after 51 games. So I could be like, okay, Engraven, here is, how do you think 3, 7, and 10 seasons feel within a 6-week period? What do you think that feels like? You know what a 7 and 10 season feels like, Engraven. How about 3, 7, and 10 seasons all happening by the beginning of June? Like that's the kind of stuff we've been going through over here in Baltimore, man. It's a little bit
tough, man.
A little bit rough. So, Engraven, thank you for jumping on. Simply,
of course, man.
The guest of the week, my man, bro. My man. Please give Sutton a hard time next time you see him.
I'll see him tomorrow.
And please tell him, don't be doing live streams Wednesdays at 9. Okay. People see him every day. I've told the guys this on the channel. He's on there every day. Let him come over here. Let the family come over here for
the fam. You're right.
Yeah. No, I'm always trying to give Sutton a hard time, man. Love that guy. Love you guys over there. So with that, I want to say thank you to my football family. I love my football family. Thanks for all the great comments. Sherry, I see you in there. Trisha, I saw you come in. Jay-Z crushing it. Louisville Cardinal Ravens fans. J-Dub. Jay-Z as usual. Tomato coming through, man. Come through again. Loved your comments. Loved bringing them up. And, of course, the lovely ladies. If you missed ladies' night, that's one to go back and watch. If you're bored, don't have any football comment, go back about a month ago to see the live show with the ladies that you see in not only this chat, but all the live chats across the flock, giving their football opinions. So proud of that show. Like, I feel like, the women of football fans, women flock, they still think that, or like some of the fans and the guys think, oh, they're just going off the cutest players and they don't know the game. Nah, man. These women talk to football. We talk big picture. We talk small picture. We talk some schematics. They were really showing out. And, I didn't have to like cater the program or be like, okay, ladies, is it okay if we talk about this? Do you know anything about that? Nah, man. It was just a regular show, just like I do with you guys. So I was super proud of that. So, thank you to everybody. Love you. And with that, guys, the panel, great all-star panel. Please say good night to the people for me.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. See you.